All right, so we got the bed off. I wire wheeled and power washed the frame. Then I spray painted it with a Rust-Oleum rust stopper type paint. And then I used a Rust-Oleum undercover. Undercarriage. It's basically supposed to cover everything so it won't get rust on the frame. It came out pretty good. I masked off everything I didn't want paint to get on with aluminum foil. It was a lot of work. I really didn't record much, and the ones I did, I didn't like and what I recorded, I really didn't like the way it came out. Now, the new bed that I got to replace this, I have a patch panel for the arch because they're rusted. I started taking everything apart. Normally these beds come with a flap here, and two on the other side. I've removed them. Obviously, I power washed this, cleaned up the rust with wire wheel and spray painted. But now I'm going to take I ran out of that Rust-Oleum rust preventer paint thing. Then I used like a flat black or matte black Rust-Oleum spray paint that has one of these tips on it. This is a 5-in-1 tip from Rust-Oleum. So I ran out of that, but since I have primer, black primer, I'm going to just paint the area down there, which I didn't finish. Now, the way this is going to work is I'm going to do the body work on the truck. However, the back side of the bed that goes here is going to be hard to paint and sand later on. So right now I'm going to take this area, spray paint it black, put the bed down, and then I'm going to pretty much sand and spray paint the front side of this, so that way when the bed is on the truck I don't have to paint that side red again. Alright, so unfortunately I'm trying to rush this. This is literally like 10 minutes after the last clip. I painted on the side of the bed, lowered the bed, and I took my wire wheel with a brand new fresh battery and started taking it off the paint off, trying to get close to bare metal. I want the primer to adhere very well and stick very well, obviously adhere to the bed. I'm pretty much just painting this part right here to the very edge, because once it's on the truck I can paint the rest on the truck. I want this, so like I was saying, I want this primer to stick really good onto the bed. I just want to paint this whole section here, the whole back of the bed here, with primer, Rust-Oleum paint, and then Rust-Oleum clear. I don't care if it's not smooth. I just want the paint to stick pretty good, so that means I'm going to have to wipe this down with acetone or something. However, I just got a call, I got to go do something, and I won't be back. So that means hopefully by tonight I can get in primer, or tomorrow morning. I have church in the morning and I have an event tomorrow, so I might not even do the whole thing. I might just primer this section, put it on the bed, get ready for tomorrow's event. So when I come after church I can take care of the our company, because I'm just trying to have a little cookout back here. And unfortunately, I don't want to have paint, primer, and a driveway full of crud around while there's people hanging out. Alright, update time, another clip. As you can tell, the filler neck is sanded down and painted. This filler neck has pinholes because it's rusty. I had to wire wheel it, wipe it down with alcohol, as you can see over there, rubbing alcohol to clean all the dirt off. And it has little, rust holes everywhere, as you can see from right here. I don't know if you can see that on my finger. Is that I have another filler neck that's over there in that bed, but this these trucks, they come with a tube inside the filler neck. As you could see here, this one's rusty inside, but it's in really good shape. Unfortunately, they cut the inside tube, and I don't know if that tube is to vent or whatever, and then the little access hatch when you push down to fill up, your gas. has like a little flapper in there that's missing. So even though that one looks good, I'm going to use the old one because when you fill it up, it goes through that tube and it really won't go to the metal areas. So that means one of these days when I go to the junkyard, I want to get a front bumper for this truck in the future. And I think going to the junkyard will help me out because I need to get a fender neck, a bumper, and there was something else I wanted for this truck. Well, whatever. So when I go to the junkyard, maybe with like, you know, $5-10 for one of these fender necks in good shape, I just could, you know, bring my little socket set or pry bar and get me a new fender neck and just slap it in. It's literally not that hard. It's literally a clamp holding the fender neck to the bed, a clamp holding the fender neck to the hose, and 4 little screws that I could do it with a little socket set and a pry bar. All right, so another clip. I kept grinding away, and just in this journal area, I had everything down to bare metal. I'm stepping on something there. Oh, that was the nameplate that I took off the bed. So I primered it. My wife didn't get me the filler primer. They had just black primer, which is fine because I needed flat black anyways for certain areas underneath the bed. And it's drying right now. It's not 100% perfect and laid out, but I really don't care because I'm going to do 2 or 3 coats when I prep everything. The bed is on for now. As you can tell, a lot more straighter than the old bed. It's not on 100%, it's just literally laying on a frame. I still had the ratchet there because I gotta take the bed back out. And as you can tell, this is what I was talking about. I want to get this painted red. So when I finally put this bed on with the hardware, with the 6 bolts, and mount everything down, I don't want to have to look in here and see white paint. I want to see red. That way it looks like the original bed and looks clean. It doesn't look like I did a lazy job. Looking at this thing sitting here, I really want to lower the back. So when I do take the bed back off to paint that section, I'm going to remove a leaf, put everything back on, and then start working on the metal work. Now, you look closely. Let me fix my phone here. It's a nice, hot, sunny day. You look closely, I have runs on the paint, which is fine as long as I don't have runs in the obvious spot because, like I said, when this is mounted on the truck, the cab's going to cover it up. And also, I am right about the cutter. It is a lot brighter red. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but I sanded some bare spots, spray Rust-Oleum primer, black primer, and I sprayed it. Obviously, the cab corner got to get replaced here on the other side. So when I replace the cab corner, this could be touched up with a better matching red. And this red, even though the truck is dirty, if you shine it up, that is a little brighter red. So it might be, as you can tell right there by my spit, it's going to be a little bit brighter red. The truck's got to get polished on the ways in the future, or the whole thing's going to get repainted. Alright, bed is finally on the truck. However, the hardware I have is too short. I have 6 bolts with washers and lock washers, but they're too small. I gotta get the same thread pitch, same type of bolts, just maybe 2 inches longer. I have the whole line up. As you can tell, everything's looking good. Obviously, I painted the top, like I said before. I haven't wire wheel painted anything underneath. I'm going to in a bit, but there is some rust like here that I have to repair or replace this section. It's riveted on, but I could cut that off and use bolts. But yeah, and a little wire wheel and some spray paint can take care of. So I'm out of breath. I don't have the right bolts, so I don't want to align anything up just yet. I might put the washers and align the body, the cab to the bed a little. All right, so I'm have to make this video again. Had to run pick up the kids from school. I'm about to go inside and start cooking, but I had to clean this area up first. So the bed is on the truck, obviously. The hardware I have for the bed is too short. I put 6-inch extensions on the muffler, so it sounds way better. And obviously, you could tell what I was talking about earlier. The back of this bed is painted to match somewhat to the cab of the bed. So when everything is color matched and painted, this won't be that bad. I'd rather have some type of red back here that might be off a little bit from the cab instead of having white. And honestly, like I said, it's dusty back there. Like I said, it's not going to be that noticeable because when the whole thing is painted, that red might blend in, and it's always kind of dark back here. So this brighter red might be dark. And plus, some of this edging here and around the bed here will be painted to match the bed. And there might be some overspray, so that will help out. Alright, so bed is on, obviously. 15 times I said it. Lights is on. I had my son hop in the truck, make sure the brake lights turn on, reverse lights turn on, and turn signals turn on. I put the gas filter back on, floor bolts, new gas cap from this bed. The old one is somewhere around, but I am going to keep it as a spare. It sucks because the only thing I need to do other than clean up is to put the roll pan on and put the bolts on, and I'll be good to start using the truck. All right, ladies and gents. So, my project truck, as you know, previous clips, I talked a lot about it. Bed was rotted. The bed is over there, rotted apart. Floors, wheel wells, wheel arch on the side, everything was just rotted, covered in bondwood and tape. So I got me a less free bed. It still has rust on it. Let me clean the lens real quick. It still has rust on it. It has rust in the little corner there and there. And then the opposite side, it has a little rust here. And then this whole section is coming off because I'm deleting this door. So I've been poking at it and it has a little bit of rust here. But from the back side, it's pretty clean. So I'm going to cut off a big piece, weld it, and make sure everything is rust free as much as possible. This is the original tailgate. I actually bent the tailgate accidentally, so I got to bend that back, and then I got to cut this little rust spot out and attach good metal to there. The lights need to be wired up. This goes to the bumper roll pan lights, and everything else got to be taped up and zip tied out the way. This is a standard, like an extension harness for a trailer because I have a receiver here. I have the newer taillights that came with the truck. I put on this bed. This is the taillights that came with the bed. I'm going to sand it down and clear coat it to see if I get it nice and clean, because I want to replace these. They got a chip on this side, and honestly I don't like the way they mount. So I am going to try to put the factory OEM lights back on. One thing I like about the factory lights is that this reverse light wraps all the way around, which this one doesn't. It stops right here. This is the aftermarket light, but it is DOT approved. What else? I did paint, like I said and showed you guys in the earlier clip. I did paint the back of the bed so it kind of matches with the cab. So once the cab is nice and polished, it will match somewhat. I figured to, what the hell? Every time I turn on the camera, somebody wants to scream. So I figured to wash the truck since it got real nasty tree sap and all that other crap. And it looks really good when it's nice and shiny. Obviously, both doors and the cab itself is not polished. I think the front end was polished and waxed. But as it dries, you can tell it's sun faded. I don't think I ever did the hood. I know I did the fenders. I don't know. I want to try and wax the vehicle so I get that darker, juicy red when it's nice and wet like this. And you could tell that this red from far away is not that far off, especially when the cab is wet. So I wonder when I polish the cab and wax it and it brings out like a brighter red, like a brighter, deeper red, like over here. As you can tell, over here is brighter than the rest of the cab. I wonder if that red will match more. I really want to paint this truck. Obviously not now, but this is the first time I cleaned this truck in a while, and it's looking really good. I put some Black Magic tire wet on the wheels. I don't like using tire shine like that, but for some reason this truck looks really good because it has a lot of meat. It's not like a low profile car. I wish this thing was painted already, but you know, just an update. All right guys, to the next one.